Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Now, yeah, this is a decently small tier list just because I didn't really include anybody who's shooting guard eligible at small forward, for example, just because I don't think that's exactly the most accurate way to do these tier lists, at least not how I would run the cards. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Uploading every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Again, apologies if the list is a bit smaller than what you generally are used to or would prefer, but if I left somebody off the list, you'd like to hear my thoughts on them, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll let you know where I would rank the cards. So with that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. And let's start off with number one, which is going to be Shawn Marion. Have not used this card for a video or anything, but I do know that he is very, very good. This shooting small forward position is pretty talented. Like, there's a lot of really good cards on this list. I think I'm going to go high A for Shawn. There's only about 21 cards in this list. So that's about 4 cards a tier. I don't think he's in the top 4 in my opinion of small forwards. He's got a fast jumper. It's ugly, but it's fast. He's an elite defender. He's a very good slasher. He's a good card. Don't get it twisted. Definitely A tier. Don't think I'd go quite S though. Jonathan Isaac, unbelievable lock. Is that enough to put him in the A tier? I think at the end of A tier, yes. His release could be a little better, and he is very athletic, but doesn't have much in terms of shot creation whatsoever, in terms of SIGs or anything like that. But he's so good defensively. He's 6'10". He's a very good card. I think he's end of A or B. Calvin Nat is going to go B. Very good defender, but only 6'6". 3-ball rating's a little low, but his jumper is really smooth. He's definitely a very viable card, but I think B tier is the fairest spot for him. Bobby Jones has a 53 ball. I really don't think he's very good. I know he's amazing defensively, but his jumper's not very good, and his 3-ball is a 50. Yes, you can hit wide open with it occasionally, but it's not consistent. It's not a jumper I'm confident in. I think D tier is probably right. Larry Bird has really complete stats and badges. In fact, when he's badged, he's got every single badge in the game. The problem with Larry is his jumper's not that great. He doesn't have much in the form of movement. He's not an elite level slasher. He's just not great. I think C tier is the right spot for him. Giannis is definitely S tier, basically a near 7-footer with a jumper that may not be the best, but good enough shooting ability and absolutely incredible, impactful slashing and defensive ability. Obviously, I mean, Giannis is one of the best cards in my team pretty much every time he comes out. And this Giannis is certainly no exception to that rule. Definitely think he's a very, very good card in my team. No doubt about it. So now, next we have Draymond Green. I think Draymond goes end of B tier probably. I actually think Draymond's a pretty good card. I'm legitimately a fan of Draymond as a card. I think you could definitely make the argument that he is a viable option at the small forward position. His defense is really good. He's a little undersized. He's like a slightly worse Calvin Nat, actually, I would say, in all honesty. Not a bad card though. I think B tier is totally fair. Cedric Maxwell's pretty good. He's got a solid jumper. He's not a bad card, but he's got a really low 3-ball, only a 72, which is not great. And he's not like an elite level shot creator or anything like that. He is really good defensively. He's definitely a very solid card. Top of C, bottom of B is probably a fair spot for him. I think Danny Granger is better, though. I think all the guys in B tier so far are better, so I may wind up moving him up. I might not. We'll see. Either way, I think Danny Granger is a solidly B tier guy. 6'9", good, very good release. Not great defensively, but good enough. Solid slasher. Good card for sure. I think Rudy Gay is S tier. He might be the last card in S tier, but he is certainly an S tier card. Really, really like that card as a slasher, as a shooter with even SIGs, got a great fade, solid defensively. Like, I think Rudy Gay is a beast. I think he's a top 3 small forward in the game. Only beat out, honestly, by LeBron and Giannis. LeBron is obviously incredible. I do believe he is the best small forward in the game. His pink diamond is too. I didn't put his pink diamond on the list, but his pink diamond would obviously also be S tier and very much has an argument for best small forward in the game as well, besides Zopal. Like, his cards are amazing this year. Really, they truly are. And unfortunately, I haven't had a LeBron card on my team this year, but I don't want to spend the MT on him. He's just so expensive. And I use like other more budget options, but I do think LeBron is an elite card, and I think I have no issues with him in the S tier on this list. Next, we have Hedo Turkoglu. I think Hedo, his jumper's really nice, and he is 6'10". He's not great defensively. He's not really much of a shot creator. I think I like Cedric Maxwell better because Cedric Maxwell has more defense. So definitely C for Hedo. Said he might move up to B. We'll see. Jamal Mashburn, I think is very good. And honestly, this list is pretty stacked. Like, most of the cards on this list are very good. Mashburn's release is decent. He's a solid all-around card, but he's not great at any specific thing. He's not a bad card, but he's not a great one. I think on a list that is as strong as this, he's probably D tier. Paulo Banchero is solidly A tier. Very, very good card. I think I could argue him S, actually. I don't know if I'd put him S though. That's tough. I feel like Sean Marion, Paulo Banchero, one other guy that's coming up. All three of those guys are about the same level, so it's hard to decide which one goes S tier if I have four S tier guys. I think I'm leaving Paulo in A. His release is really nice. He's super athletic. He's 6'10". He's got very complete badges, but he's not like OD incredible in any specific area, I'd say. So I think A tier is probably fair for Paulo. I actually think I'm going to go A tier for Gerald Wallace too. Elite defender, very good release, super athletic. I think he's better than KD, and KD, in my opinion, is probably the best card left on this list besides one. So I think I'm going to go Gerald Wallace in A tier, and I think I'm going to leave that like that. KD's going to go B tier for me. 6'10", good release, good movement, does a lot of things well. I just think Paulo is better. Honestly, I think him and Draymond probably about the same level. Calvin Nat and Danny Granger are probably slightly better in the B tier, but I think he does go B tier. I think he's a solid card. Tim Thomas is C. His jumper's not very good. He doesn't have the same level of movement as he's had last year. He was such a god these last couple of years, especially in 2K23. This year, he just simply is not. I think he's C tier. I don't think he's all that good. Jason Tatum, S tier. I will give him that last S tier spot over Marion and Paulo. I just think his jumper's a little more consistent. His stats and badges are just super complete, super good. He does everything well. He may not be the best shot creator in the world, but he doesn't really need to be. Definitely think he's S tier. Brandon Ingram, easy D tier. Not elite defensively. Don't love the jumper. I don't think he's great. Anton Jameson, really trash release, but everything else about the card is good. I think I'll give him low C because he does have very good complete stats and badges. He just has Brook Lopez base, which sucks, but I'll still give him the C tier because on paper he's really good. And then I have Lamar Odom, who I just think is a worse version of Hito, honestly. No, I'm switching Lamar on Anton. Anton is the worst jumper. I think Lamar's better. He's 6'10". He's not a great card by any means, just like Tim Thomas, in my opinion, at the small forward position, but I think he's good enough to not go D tier. So we'll put him and Tim Thomas as the last two guys in the C tier. With that being said, that is going to do it for this small forward tier list. So definitely a little bit of a quicker video today because we had less cards, only 21 guys on the tier list. If there are any small forwards, like I said, that I left off the list that you'd like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know who they are. Let me know where you'd rank some of these cards, if there's anything you would change on this list. And obviously, just let me know who your small forwards are and what tier you think they are, and like basically who your favorite small forwards are in the game to use right now. With that being said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.